to anybody who's experienced any type of loss in their family, maybe a loved one who's passed. It's called September Ends. Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Wake me up when September ends. Like my father's come and passed. 30 years has gone so fast. Wake me up when September ends. Here comes the rain again, falling from the stars, drenched in my pain again, becoming who we are. As my memory rests, but never forgets what I lost. Wake me up when September ends. Summer has come and passed. The innocent can never last. Like my father's come and passed. 30 years has gone so fast.
Vogue. Hello, rock stars. Welcome to In the Pit, and I am your host, Rick. I hope everyone's doing well. This week, I have a guest that I have been giddy to talk to for a while. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Bobby Hoke. How are you, Bobby? You're like,
great.
I feel like I should pull off my Clark Kent super. Dude, you are a superhero. I've admired you and oohed and awed for a long time. No, and I'm going to tell you right now. I gush every time I come see you play, and because every time I walk in, you see me, you get a big smile on your face. I'm like, I like Bobby. He's so nice to me. Other people see me, they're like, you could see him talking to security, going, that one right there, will you ask him to leave?
I've been accused of smiling too much to the point they think it's always fake. And I went, yeah, clearly you haven't been with me at sound check.
You'll know when it's fake. I'm like,
you'll know it's fake.
I laugh.
Take drum, please.
Oh God, please. I don't want to think about sound checks. Sound checks are the most
let's not
emotionally draining experience. Oh my. Okay. So before we came on the air, you and I were talking about it. That's like the Starship Enterprise behind you. I love your you are the wizard, man. You are like a mad scientist back there. And you really do your bands, and you're in a bunch of them, and we'll get to that. You're running the show back there. I mean, drummers run the show, but you're the man.
You know, it's so funny. It just sort of started out that way with me. I didn't mean to be that way. And the first band I was in out of high school, everyone in the band was in their late 20s and 30s, and I was 19. And I had like 2 rehearsals with them. They're like, "Okay, you're the music director." I went, "Oh, okay." I went, "Yeah, I can do that, sure." And it never went away.
But Bobby, that's a huge compliment to have that gift, to be able to look at a band which is hurting cats, and sometimes you want to like literally shoot every single cat in the room. But get them all to march in the same direction, and folks, you've watched the show for a while. I've had a lot of musicians on. We're all going to tell you the same thing. It takes a lot of work getting a bunch of different people to move in the same direction.
Oh yeah.
And sound good. I mean, that doesn't just Lucky Charms magically delicious happen. I mean, holy crap. It takes some work. And to be able to be the band leader, that takes a certain amount of patience. I want to know what kind of prescription for Xanax you have.
I've actually never taken one of those in my life.
Oh, dude, if you get anxiety, like when I fly, I have to have a Xanax and a rum and Coke to get on the airplane. Otherwise, I'm that guy that's hanging from the ceiling, and the air marshal's coming like, "Sir, you need to leave the airplane."
Yeah. Yeah, right.
But I mean, you're comfortable with it because you band leader a bunch of bands.
Yeah. Well, and now I have the additional burden of doing it for so long, that now I feel like, well, you better listen to me. I freaking know what I'm talking about. It's like, and I'll hear someone mention something. I'll go, yeah, I had to deal with that 10 years ago, or something like that. It's like, there's hardly a scenario that someone doesn't bring up that I think about and go, yeah, I've dealt with that.
Now, with that decades of experience, I have to ask, have you found that you mentor other band leaders and kind of pass on the wisdom of years of experience that they still got to go through it. They got to experience it. But do you give those tidbits out?
All right, this is getting comfortable because I don't like talking about myself like that. But I did come to the show, so I'm going to do it.
Okay.
But no, I've actually have sort of had that happen the last few years.
Nice.
Man, I really look up to you, blah, 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 sort of stuff.
And there's nothing wrong. No, we're not going to dive in deep, but I do it too.
They're paying attention.
Yeah, I think that it's as I'm honest. I'm 51 years old. I know everybody says, you're a puppy, and I am, but I could tell Father Time's catching up with me.
Yeah.
And I do find myself when I'm around the younger musicians, especially drummers that are still trying to figure it out, giving them tidbits of advice, because again, there's just no substitute for experience and time. It is what it is.
Yeah,
But
it really is. It just sort of, and that's one reason why when I see people in my mind make maybe not the best decision, or I know they can make a better one, I feel compelled to tell them. It's like, do this. Just do this. This is my advice.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to be pushy, but trying to, I'm trying to shave 5 years off your experience that I had to go through. It's like,
I think that's a gift, Bobby. I think that's a huge gift when we get to give back to the next generation. And again, we're a little bit older. I'm excited as I watch. And for those of you watching in Europe, South America, all over the U.S., here in Dallas-Fort Worth, we have a very thriving music scene that we are excited. I mean, we really are blessed. It is a gift. And we do have we've got an awesome young group of musicians that are coming up through the ranks. Yeah. And when you get to mingle with them on stage and backstage and just in the crowd, and you realize that they're giddy and that they're like sponges, that they have their own ideas, but they're also willing to learn. Oh man. And it's exciting for me because I know that this will continue. And the number one piece of advice I give to everyone is make sure you pass it on. Make sure that you keep this going, because live music is a true gift. If you're in Memphis, LA, New York, Miami, Dallas, Chicago, I don't care where you are. If there's a live music scene in your city, go support live local music. There's nothing better. It's a gift. That's all I can say. So again, I love it. Now,
and I love the young people. Like I say, I've Leah Lane, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I've been working with her off and on for the last few years.
Yep.
And a little more this year. And but that's a perfect example. I mean, she loves me, I love her. We just have this great respect for each other. And so when I get people on, at that age level and that talented, that still think I have something to offer them, it makes me
Where do you think we learned it? I mean, there had to be some great, and I know I already asked it. We'll just skim the surface. You've been very blessed to work with some great musicians over your career.
Correct? Yeah. I worked with I worked with Cy Kernan, the Fix. Nice. Did that whole thing a few years ago and put a band together. Once again, the sort of band director sort of thing. I was asked to put a band together for him. And it worked out great because some of those people that I found for those gigs with him, I still work with those people.
Nice.
Like
nice.
Drew Hunter and Eric Neal. Yeah, that's where I met them. I found them for that gig.
That is awesome.
Still work with them. So, and then in 19, I put together a band for Jane Wheatland of the Go-Go's.
Yep.
For their party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And you dabbled for like a 30-second. I'm like really quick with Miss what's her name? Miss Aretha.
Yeah.
But I mean that is phenomenal, because that is that you get so much experience out of that and see and do you still have those at all? And I know that they're real people like you and me, but do you ever get those like rock star awe moments at all when you meet people?
Oh yeah, I remember. When I got the call, when I initially got the call for Aretha from a producer friend of mine in LA, and he said, "Man, I need to put a horn section together for this." I ended up not doing that. Someone else ended up doing that.
Yeah,
but he was like, "I need to put a horn section together." And he sort of just rattled it off,
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, horn section. Wait a minute, who did you say? Like, HP, who did you say? Like, what? And I was like, can he tell that I'm like pausing on the phone for air right now?
That's a hang up the phone and you're doing your dance. You're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Home Alone moment. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Yeah, I think we all would do that. I mean, it's you're flattered, but then you're also like, okay, they're so real. And there's been a couple douchebags I've met, and that's, whatever. Yeah. But 99% of the folks that I've met, you're like, oh man, I love you. You are you're just a good human being. And you realize they're just like you and me. They just happen to get to play bigger stages than we do a lot of times. And they make a lot more money than we do for doing what they do.
But they have a lot more to keep people away from them. So
yeah, exactly. Now, let's talk about your involvement in the DFW scene, because you and we won't have to go into all of them. You're in a diverse, you're not just like in one genre of music. You're in a diverse genre. I believe you're doing everything from the 80s new wave. I think there may be some country in there somewhere. That dance. I mean,
not really yet. And I'm not really that big of a country guy. So
no, but when I say dance, I'm thinking like the prima donna stuff.
I'm sorry. Dance, yeah.
I thought we'll dabble with that, but I mean, you've helped influence, again, help guide some folks that are giving us some of the greatest projects that we get to go watch on the weekends. Fair, and you're very humble about it, and that's what I adore about you. Is you are humble, because you're like, this is just what we do, man. It's I mean, I think I was freaked out when I saw you with Graceland. I think it was at House of Blues. And I think I was like, whoa, wait, really? And of course, I get to see you with Cure, which I'm, I gush because I'm a huge Cure fan. And your bass player, Doug, is, I'm a huge fan.
Doug's a hoot,
I recently became a Bowie fan. When I say recently, in the last few years. And so, whenever I get to come out and see you with Thin White Dukes, I'm always like, oh. And I adore Mario. He's awesome. So, I mean, how do you pick your projects? And I'm kind of curious, because everybody knows I'm a pop punk drummer.
It's just, I mean, I pick them based on, I guess, where my head's at that time. A lot of times, it's like, how busy am I at this moment? And then is this interesting enough for me to want to add this to my plate? Yeah. And but then sometimes I have to think, okay, well, if I add this to my plate, what other bands do I have to like maybe
lesson? Yeah.
Not ignore, but and not really necessarily put on the back burner, but like let them. I guess let them ride on their reputation alone, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, put it on autopilot.
Because I mean. The Dukes, the White Dukes and Cure are perfect examples of it. We've had those, 12, 13 years or something.
Oh my God, has it been that long?
So, God, yes, I know it.
No, that's phenomenal. That is phenomenal, Bobby, that you can make it that long. That is phenomenal. Basket Case just hit their 5-year anniversary. 12 years, like, there's days that, how do you not kill each other?
Well, so it goes back to that thing you're talking about. Finding personalities that work and respect each other's work in the band, and we respect my direction, and hey, I had a band with my a variety band back in the 90s and 2000s. Together for 20 years. I had 4 personnel changes in 20 years with a cover band. I mean, that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, wow, that you could keep that's all you have was 4 personnel changes. Like, because it is difficult. And do you find that you have to be like the ringleader, like and I know it's being a band manager is one thing, but like, if it's not you bumping heads with somebody else, if any of your guys are, do you have to be like, okay, you go to that corner, or do you guys do a good job of picking temperaments that are going to work together?
Yeah, and sometimes you get a swing and a miss, but it's not, not that often. Well, a good example of the band I was talking about, Dance Regina. I hired this great guitar player, and we worked great, but then we just sort of kept bumping heads, about direction and stuff, and so to go back a little bit, that I'm not closed-minded to hear anything. I mean, there's always a new way to skin a cat. You know, it's like, so I'll always listen. You know, say, hey, yeah, that's a really good idea. Let's try that. You know, but anyway, I mean, this guy we didn't. So I had to let him go. You know,
it happens.
And but he wasn't really angry about it. It was fine because we knew that we weren't sort of mentioned. But ironically, like a little bit while later, he's like, man, you know, after I left your band, I really started thinking about it more. He goes, so I started getting into keyboard because that was a lot of our thing. His parts kept covering up. You know, it's like, dude, guitar does not have to go from measure 1 to measure 120. It's like, in and out. Fit with the plan, you know. So he's like, well, man, I really got into keyboards after I got out of the band, and I think I see it now. I see it. I see what you mean. I was like, well, cool. So something happened, and the guitar player quit after that or something. So I called him and said, hey, you want to come back? He goes, yeah, sure. And he came back. He came back for like another year or two. So
that's awesome. And that is probably there is the epitome, because we don't know where our paths are going to go. And we are we're gonna cross paths with people. I've had to let people go, and because I am a band manager too. And you it's heat of the moment, but when emotion goes away and you can become friends again, you know, get past all the BS. You share time together. So it's like, you know, this is what we do because we're passionate about it. There's difference between business and pleasure, and learning to delineate between the two. And sometimes we're musicians, we're emotional. It can be difficult.
Yeah. Well, I had to get really tough-skinned about it really early because in my early 20s, I was in a funk band for like a year, for like 8 years. The only, pretty much for most of the time, the only white guy in the funk band. But me and the leader, I was just the music director. But me and the leader, we were great. We're still friends to this day.
Good.
Great. Actually, his name was Round Robin. He actually wrote Rockin' Robin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's the guy talking about that tour we did, Clark. Anyway, him and I are great friends. But here again, he made me a music director. So, well, then he decided to make me the guy that does the hiring and firing. But I hardly ever got to have a decision in the firing. He was always making a decision on the firing, but it was like, okay, you got to fire this guy. And I'm like, okay. And of course, it allowed us to have a good reputation because I can say, okay, really, why do you want to fire? Let me see if I can fix it. You know, what's bothering you? What's bothering you about the guy? Let me see if I can fix it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I can fix it. I can go to him and say, hey, you really need to work on this part. You know, you really need to do this. You really need to step up. You know, I don't want to. I never like threaten them, like because you're about to be canned. Yeah. I want to do it because they want to do it, not because they're being threatened by something else.
Exactly.
And so I had to do stuff like that in my early 20s, and it was was interesting.
You're doing a lot of tributes. Are you dabbling at all into the original stuff?
Oh yeah, I have original. I mean, you can go on Spotify. I've got with the Graceland Ninjaz albums up there. I've got five or six albums on Spotify.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. A band I had sort of a electronica sort of garbage-esque type band in the 2000s called Trip Rock, and we did 4 albums, and they're up there on Spotify.
I am a huge garbage fan.
Actually, it was 2 original albums and then a double remix album.
Nice.
I do a lot of remixing too for people. So,
do you think doing the tributes easier or harder? Tributes, cover bands, easier or harder than doing originals?
God, they're such different animals.
100% different.
Yeah, I mean, if you put them both in a live performance aspect, I guess I'd have to say the original would be a little harder. But other than that, they're just apples and oranges. You know, I mean, that's what all this is for. This one is for live, and these are all for
studio.
And do it studio.
Okay. Nice.
So I mean, it's just different. But so I had that band up there. Then I had another band Fruitcake Super Bean. They've got a couple albums on Spotify too, and a lot of videos on YouTube.
Nice.
It was a funny band, so quirky band, and we had that. And right now, I've only got one original project going on right now. Well, I say that I have two actually. But a good friend of mine, Brian Miller, the original guitarist from The Cure,
Okay.
who I knew him before that.
Okay.
He and I have just strictly a studio project called Germans.
Okay.
It's a little hard to describe. All the songs are 9 minutes long.
Oh, wow.
It's an investment. It's an investment in your time.
Wow.
Actually, we're working on a Christmas song right now that's under 5 minutes. So
under 5.
Yeah.
So if you ever need like a pop punk drummer, please give me a call because I am the master of the 2.5 to 3.5 minute song. I can. I keep it simple.
But careful what you wish for. I'm actually looking for a sub drummer for 3 gigs this month. So.
Ooh, yeah. You know what though? I'm a slow learner. I mean, I can learn anything, but you're like, no, I need you to know it like in an hour.
I love you, but I'm not. I love you, but I'm not. I sort of put it in this thing. I think I put something on DFW musicians or something.
Oh yeah.
I sort of gone through my arsenal of some drummers that I knew that they weren't available. I was like, crap, I gotta find some more drummers, So
I know, you know what, you and I could talk off. I know a ton of drummers that you may not know. Yeah. I would love to introduce you to because they are phenomenal. I'm good at what I do. I'm really good at what I do, but I know these guys are wicked talented, make me look like a beginner. And you might, if you don't know them, we need to connect you because they do a lot of support.
Yeah, because I had to put it, and I don't mean to be, mean, but I was terse, and I was like, I said, you know what? I said, no hand holding, no babysitting.
Bingo.
Show up, do the gig. I'll give you all the tools.
Yep.
I have the arrangements of every song that we do. I have the exact arrangement on a file in Google Drive. Go listen to that, learn that arrangement, show up, play it.
And that's how it has to be for those drummers. You need to know, and musicians. It's and I have very short patience too because when I have a project to do, I take the time. I do my homework. I'm ready to go. When we walk in here, I'm not here to teach you your part. I'm here for us. We should all know our own parts. Now it's get comfortable with everybody else. And I usually learn everybody else's part too before I show up. Exactly. So it's because people think we're just drummers. We are actually listening to keyboards, guitars, bass, vocals. I am queuing off everything. So if you're off, if you miss something as a drummer, I promise you, I heard it. I know what's going on. That's my job I pick all those. So it's intricate, but yes, you and I will connect with some folks, connect you with some folks. Out of all the projects you're doing, and I know there is a theme here because you're doing some Madonna, some Bowie, some Cure. You definitely have that 80s kind of new wave. Yeah. Is that your stick? I mean, is that your preferred comfort zone?
What, to play those bands?
Yeah, in that genre. Yeah.
Gosh, I'm really comfortable with anything. I get a little nervous. I love prog rock. I get a little nervous when I play it. But then when I do, it's very satisfying. I didn't really. This wouldn't really classify as prog rock, but I did that Jeff Beck thing a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
And we only did 2 shows, but it was great. But man, rehearsals were freaking intense for this stuff, And I was like, and it was a learning curve that I hadn't experienced in a while. And
isn't that exciting?
Okay. Oh yeah, I loved it. And plus, I loved it. And then you also sort of got to see the inner workings because I was always a Max Milton fan anyway, but I really studied how he played.
Yeah.
So once you start learning his parts, you're going. So it's like, well, I'm not sure what that chord is, but I'm going to just try playing a triad with my right hand and playing the 7th in the bass hand because he does that a lot. Oh, look, it works. Yeah. So you do stuff like that. So, I mean, that was a challenge, but God, so much fun. And people still come up to me and say, man, when you guys are going to do this show? Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
See, those uncomfortable moments, I hate them at that moment in time, but they are wicked blessings of opportunity to learn and add to my quiver. So it's when you're putting those, you're uncomfortable and it's a little stressful, but when you get through the storm and you get to look back on it, you're like, oh, I loved it. You know, I just don't love it while I'm going through it.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my
Lord. I pretty much have put the kibosh on tribute bands. I mean, as far as taking on anymore right now.
Yeah.
I like the variants that I've got right now.
Yeah.
So I am going to do maybe I'm doing a lot of one-offs. Well, in the works, some one-offs in the works, like Paul David, Chris Hope, and I, and some other people. I can't remember who all is in the band. Anyway, we're but we're putting together a Monkeys band.
Oh.
So for like maybe 2 shows. So
I've got a few of those in the works. There may be
cool. Are they fun though?
I've got a couple that
I think love them. It's like they're not long commitment, and I was like, and that's one thing. Like when people ask me Jeff Beck stuff, I'm like, yeah, it was fun, but you know what? I don't have to do it anymore. I loved it, and so it has this great memory in my mind of always being a bit traumatic, but very exciting and very fresh, you know, and so I love that part of it.
Do you get a lot of offers? Do people go, hey, do you want to do this? Do you get a lot of those?
I do. And I don't mean this. I'm sorry.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Automatically smirk when I'm like, yes. And I don't really mean that. I mean, I am very appreciative when people ask me. I mean, that was my thing with the whole shutdown last year. I was like, yeah,
I can breathe.
I really could retire right now. And
hush.
Didn't bother everyone but me. Yeah.
Oh, hush, Bobby. You cannot retire yet. Oh, no.
Well, but I did decide. I was like, but I did decide to change my game plan a little bit. I said, you know what? I'm sort of done knocking on doors, looking for gigs, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I think they all know me. I say, if the phone rings, great. I'll
if not,
if not, I'm fine. Just tinkering around in here.
I'll sit by the pool and drink a Fresca.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny. Everyone thinks that I'm in a lot of bands, and I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm in 2 bands.
Yeah.
2. That's all. Now, I get a lot of offers, and I'm flattered. I am absolutely flattered, and I turn a lot of people down. There's a couple bands I'm learning their set list because they need a sub, and there's a couple projects that I want to do that are going to be 2, maybe 3 shows a year. Very, very, very sparse special project. But 2 bands, my show, and by the way, I have a real job, is enough because at 51, I'm thinking probably the next 5, 7, maybe 8 years. I'm not shy about it. You guys all know I've been going to St. Thomas. I'm looking to buy a place down there. I want to open a bar that has acoustic music on the beach somewhere. That is my retirement plan, is to walk away from the rat race. And I watch Cocktail too many times. It was either Cocktail or what was that one with Robin Williams, where he buys the club in Jamaica or someplace and it's a total flop. He's a fire.
Oh yeah, what is that movie?
Oh my God, I'll think of it after we get off the air. Yeah, that's probably more what's going to happen with me is I'm going to end up with in the middle of a revolution on some island trying to open a bar.
You see, it's a little harder for me because I don't have a day gig. This is all I do. So it's like,
I hate
and
you.
I love what I do. So it's like, so I'm going to retire to do what? Exactly. I don't know what I would do because I love what I do. So to not do it would feel weird.
It's not about retiring. It's about finding a pace of life that is comfortable and just doing your life.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's exactly what it is because it was like, where you can find other hobbies. Blah, blah, blah. It's like,
this is my hobby.
My avocation is my vocation. It's always been that way. So,
I agree with you, man. It's not about retirement. It's about picking a different pace. You're right. I'm not chasing the fire truck anymore. If the fire truck comes by and stops, and great. If not, I'm not. I'm not running after it anymore. Yeah. And that's awesome, man. God, that is. See, you inspire me because I know you're just like a year or 2 older than me, and So you're saying there's a chance for me. I can still do this full time. Oh,
Exactly.
it's a blessing. And I'm glad to hear you say I am not chasing any more projects, because I'm not the only one. You and I, we both have a plethora of friends that are in multiple bands. And I hear, and it's the same conversation. They're like, okay, I'm done. I can't take on any more. My plate is full. There's things that I want to do. I need to scale back. I want quality, not quantity. It's a consistent conversation. Yeah. So I'm inspired. That's awesome. I got to ask you, during COVID, what did you learn about yourself? And like, I found out that I love ding dongs, and that when they run out at the store, I have a meltdown at the house. Did you find out anything about yourself?
Really?
You're like, nothing I can say on air.
No, you hear about the things, that, relationships faltering or getting stronger. And I guess as far as that goes, me and my girlfriend's relationship got stronger,
Nice.
So, yeah, we don't, it worked out great.
That's good. And I
think we realized that we, we're probably perfect for each other, and that we both need to have our own residences. So it
not bad. So my wife and I, we were on vacation. We just took our son to St. Thomas recently for his 21st. And there were 2 beds. And I told her, I said, when we come back here, let's do this again, get two queens. She goes, why? I said, so we can Ricky and Lucy it. You can have your bed. I can have my bed, because we have a giant king size bed, but we have 2 dogs that think that, we are lucky they let us sleep in the bed with them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like humans, you should sleep on the floor. We get the bed. So when you go on vacation, it's like, whoa. I'm not being kicked in the ribs or in the face all night. This is awesome. So I told her, I'm like, we should just get a room with 2 queens, and that we Ricky and Lucy it, which I will tell you, I was always fascinated. Like, why did they sleep in different beds when I was a kid? Now I get it. It's like, okay, really? I can flop around. Nobody kicks me.
Yeah.
I'll let you know in another episode how that works out.
No, yeah. Let's see, like all my girlfriend has the equivalent of all these keyboards as far as contraptions she puts on her head to not hear the door. So it's like, there's antenna, there's wires.
Oh my Lord!
Lights that beep that blink all night.
Okay, I'm about to get the crap slapped out of me. Have I met your girlfriend?
What?
Have I met your girlfriend?
No.
Okay.
We like to. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, I figured you're gonna smack the crap out of me. Like,
we had the same hours.
Okay.
She manages another bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? It would have been so good for you to go, yeah, don't you remember? And I would have been like, no. You could have jacked with me so good right then.
You're actually taking a night off to come hear the Murder Hornets July 2nd. So if you come out July 2nd to Lee Harvey's, I'll introduce you.
Okay, good. And I got to tell you, the Murder Hornets, for those of you, I got to see you guys at the Barley House. That was
you saw our debut. It was awesome.
Oh, that was your debut. I thought that was your second show.
I'm so happy you were there. It's like,
okay.
Oh my God.
I see. I thought I had missed your first show.
My debut.
I'm going to tell you, folks, the Murder Hornets rock. It's a cover band, but oh my God, I was blown away because you're playing songs that Amy and I love. Like, and I've got a cover band that I'm working on right now, and it's called Valley Girl. It's all guys called Valley Girl.
Oh, cool.
And if it gives you any indication what kind of music it is, you'll love it. And to see you guys play some of the songs, I was just like, oh hell yeah. I was Amy and I were happy. Of course, we're always excited to come see you play. But the Murder Hornets, if you've not checked them out, I'm sorry, I'm going to give you a plug. Go see the Murder Hornets. You have an all-star lineup of musicians that absolutely rock your face off. It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
I literally just, John M. and I put that band together.
Yes.
And we were just like, he's like, and he said, well, what are we going to do? I said, do you know what we're going to do? What we want to do? Well, what about, it's like, well, can we book it? I went,
oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
went, I said, trust me, you and I haven't played. We played together for like 10 years, and we haven't played together for the last 10.
Yeah.
But I know we haven't played together in a while, but
you guys got star power.
I know people. Yeah, I said we got star power, and ironically, people actually listen to me now. So
they still don't listen to me. They're like, "Oh, Rick's." Are you kidding me?
I'm surprised they listen to me.
You know what? People are like, "Where's the ball gag you were talking about, Rick? You need to shut up. We got duct tape or something." It's
Hey, Rick.
Yes, sir.
Time.
Oh,
I'll
Mr.
edit it. I'll edit it. Sorry. But you weren't giving me a breaking point.
Okay.
Because Shane is on. He's there with us.
Okay. We'll finish up really quick.
Yeah, but I'll edit this part. I'll do some murder hornet pictures and fade into this. Okay.
Awesome.
And Shane, you can hear us, right? Okay, we can't hear you. I can see you.
Okay.
And so they're going to wrap up now. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's okay. That's okay.
But Rick could have talked for another hour.
Oh,
so
Bobby and I could go forever. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Take a 2 count once I turn off my mic, and mic off.
Oh my Lord, that is so awesome. Bobby, thank you for being my guest. Will you do this again?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you do it in person?
Of course. I was going to be in person this time. So.
Oh my Lord, we'll definitely do this one again. Thank you so much for being my guest. I have a million more questions to ask you, so we'll do it a part 2. Sound fair?
Right. We can do that.
And thank you all for tuning in again. Another week of you're not getting this time back. Yeah, sorry. And your therapist, I'm ignoring him. His number's been blocked. If you're a first-time viewer to the show, please go to Facebook, like us. If you're in a band, like us, share your stuff there. We do the concert calendar every week now, where I announce bands. Please send it to me. I'm happy to announce it. We'll put it on our concert calendar as well. If you're looking for a way to follow us outside, though, you can follow us on iHeartRadio. You can follow us on Spotify. We do have an Instagram and Twitter account, which I am horrible at. I'm trying to get better. We have Facebook. We have YouTube. We also have a Roku channel and an Amazon Fire channel. So you can definitely go follow us. You can go to In the Pit with Rick, and you can download an app to your phone so that you can look at the concert calendar, see where things are going on. If you want to catch the show, you can catch the show there as well. It's free, and we're always tweaking it, trying to make it better. That way, if you're a fan, you can find bands, and if you're a band, you can find fans. Oh, that's kind of good. I like the way that rhymes. I'm gonna have to use that. We are like eHarmony for music. We are connecting bands with fans.
Yes.
Oh, that's a t-shirt too. I'm telling you. Oh my Lord. Thank you again for tuning in. Bobby, thank you for being my guest. It has been an absolute pleasure. I am Rick. This is Bobby, and you've been watching In the Pit with Rick. And guess what? We will see you in the pit.